Gruesome Magazine.
Hello, once again, I'm Doc Rodden, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the latest in streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-hosts Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, Dreher, and I will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. Tonight, we are going to review PSYCHO GORMAN. Oh, my goodness. You want to hear this review. This movie is bonkers, and it's going to be insane. All right, let me introduce the crew, starting off with the one and only Jeff Mohr, JM for short. How you doing, sir?
I'm great.
Oh,
I'm great. Can't wait to talk about this.
Oh, my. Joining us this week is Crystal Cleveland, Living Dead Girl. How you doing?
Oh, I'm great. I freaking can't wait to talk about this movie.
Freaking can't wait.
I cannot wait.
All right, rounding out the crew is the one and only Dreher. Hey, buddy.
Hey, I was going to try to do some great PSYCHO GORMAN thing, but I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know, I will rip your soul from your anus or something.
That works. It totally works.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. I don't know how he follows this, but let's introduce the one and only Christopher G. Mohr.
I don't want to follow that.
Anytime I can get that face out of Christopher G. Mohr, it's a good night.
It's a good night. Yes.
Don't ever say that again, Dave. That's gonna haunt my nightmares forever.
It has been achieved.
Yeah, we want to welcome you to the show. You were specifically looking forward to this film. I hope, sir, that it delivered.
Oh, I hated it so much.
Oh no!
No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
No,
no.
I was like, wow.
you can quote me on this. I love the shit out of this film.
There you go.
This is the best trauma film never made.
Yeah.
Oh my! Oh my!
That's-
If trauma made good films, this would be it.
yeah. And they had good special effects. Like,
It's trauma made good film.
yeah.
Yeah, now the trauma people are come after me. I don't care. No,
Trauma
this
film.
this is
Right.
this is the trauma film that should be made.
Yeah.
And it's yeah. Anyway,
We'll get to it. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to give our initial thoughts, then we're going to talk about the film for a little bit, and then we're going to wrap things up with our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. You want to stick around for that. That's going to be, oh my God, you're not going to believe what you hear. All right, what film are we talking about? PSYCHO GORMAN, available theaters on demand digital on January 22nd, 2021 from RLJE Films. It's also a Shudder production. Written and directed by Stephen Kostanski. The cast includes Nita-Josee, Hanna, Owen, Myre, Matthew Ninaber. I'm so sorry. Kristen, MacCulloch, Adam Brooks. What's it scary? Ninaber sounds good, doesn't it? Oh, I'm sorry. And the synopsis is totally not anything to do with this.
I've got that fucking synopsis again. It's haunting us. Jesus Christ. That thing.
Yes, the actual synopsis is after unearthing a gem that controls an evil monster looking to destroy the universe, a young girl and her brother use it to make them do their bidding.
Oh, God.
Ignore the man behind the curtain. All right, let's do this. Let's do our initial reactions. I'm a train wreck from here on out. But let's start off with the one and only award-winning filmmaker Christopher G. Mohr. Sir, tell us, what the hell did you think of this film, man?
You know, the film is definitely bonkers, but bonkers in a good way, and it wears its. I mean, the thing is, it's so like it has these high aspirations, and it still kind of achieves it, but on a low budget. But you also see like the scenes of the low budget, and you still love it even more because of that. Because there's like the amount of epicness with the world building. I mean, it has elements that could be on the level of Star Wars when it comes to the sci-fi element with all these effects laden creatures, you know, and but at the same time it has, you know, it also has this wackiness, this wacky sense of humor that pervades it. You know, you have this monster of a creature that could destroy anything, but yet there's moments where even it sort of like you laugh at him, because I think one of my favorite lines is when they like when they bring like this TV and all this stuff to him so he could be entertained next time. And then they throw this magazine. He's like, here's some pictures of hunky dudes if you're into that. And he's like, I'm not into hunky dudes. Or am I? I laughed so hard. That's like my favorite line. I just want that meme line out there. Anytime I need to laugh, because it's just he's so serious, and the next minute he says something like that. So yeah, it's such a wacky film. And I was looking up the credentials on this guy that, you know, of course we loved Leprechaun. Was it Leprechaun Returns that he did? And do what?
Leprechaun Returns. Okay.
Yeah, he did Leprechaun Returns.
He's a special effects guy. Yeah.
The Void.
Okay.
He did special effects on 14 episodes of a show called Hannibal.
Oh, nice.
So he's actually been part of a lot of different things effects wise, and you could see the level of that in here. I mean, there's like that council of creatures. There's like the guy with just
intergalactic. Yeah,
there's like a weird skull head inside of a jar, and it's like all these crazy things that just like, and just also the level of crazy gore too. You know, like, I mean, yeah, but then there's parts where you're like, what the hell's happening? I don't know. Like you know, he's gonna turn some kid into a big brain thing, and he's just gonna go home to his parents, and they don't care.
I know.
What? I don't understand. But it's such a wacky. I mean, but you sort of accept that wackiness. It's just part of this world, you know. And that whole stupid crazy ball game, which makes no sense. It's like that movie Basketball. It's just a crazy game that the rules don't make any sense, but it is kind of funny where it basically comes down to them having to play this game. So yeah, it's so batshit crazy, but like, you know, it has elements. It feels almost like a trauma movie, but if it actually had more passion to it instead of just scatological stuff, that would be this. And yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of this. It was just, you know, because even the effects, you could see the limitations on the effects, you know, because they had like a robot dude, but you could tell it was just like a person with a mask, that, like, you know, but then there's just stuff that doesn't make sense. Like there's like the guy he's like a big vat of bloody parts, and he just sprays it.
Oh yes.
It's like, it doesn't make any sense, but it's so. The whole time I'm like, wow, this world is so interesting and crazy. And I mean, and as a filmmaker, I know I've really been like really falling in love with something when I'm like, man, I want to make something like that. So yeah, I really enjoy the hell out of this. I mean, it definitely works within the low budgetness, but it does so much with that big, you know, much more than some of these other things. You can see the love. The bloody love in every element of this.
Bloody love.
Oh my god. Yeah. So yeah, I enjoy the hell out of this.
Bloody love. I love it. Dave Dreher, what is your first impression of Psycho Gorman? You had to love this, being a gore hound that you are.
Yes, absolutely. I'm calling it right here, right now, on what is today, the 13th of January, best film of 2021.
Oh my god!
This is I love it. I am a big fan of this director, though. Quick true story. You know, I do a lot of conventions, or I did a lot of conventions before COVID happened, and I was at a Horror Hound weekend one weekend, and sitting at the Full Moon booth doing my thing. And I look up, and there's this kid in front of me, and he's like leafing through the movies like they all do, and he had a Void shirt on. And I was like, dude, that is a kick-ass Void shirt, man. Nobody gives the Void any love, but I love the Void. He's like, yeah, me too. I'm like, where did you first see it? He's like, when I filmed it. You're shitting me. So this was the Stephen Kostanski.
I think you mentioned the story before.
Yeah. And he looks like he's 6. I mean, he's just this little kid. And it's like, holy shit. So we had this big, long discussion about that. And he kind of hinted then, about 2 years back, that he was working on something new, and I have a feeling that this is it. But I've been a fan of. He was part of the Astron 6. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Astron 6. Did a movie called Manborg.
Manborg.
And so I mean, this guy is really, really well versed. He's very much a Savini fan. He's a big Tom Savini protege. He doesn't work with him, but I mean, that was a large part of our conversation. But I think more than anything else, I just love this guy's sense of humor. Psycho Gorman is just one of the funny. I was crying. I was laughing so hard in parts of it. I will be shocked if PG does not become a modern horror icon, because he is absolutely fucking hilarious in this movie. He's vicious and vile and terrifying and just incredibly, incredibly funny. Christopher kind of nailed it on the head with the, how you can, that thing with the magazine was just so funny. And they did it a couple of things like that. He did a couple of different times. Stephen played that card with that. I can't remember the exact line, but it's when he first meets the parents. And he says, we put something about, I can't remember what it is, damn it. But the quote was great, and the little girl goes, "Oh, don't be afraid." And he goes, "Be very afraid." It's just so awesome. So yeah, I love this movie. I don't buy a lot of physical media anymore. This one will be in my collection, and it will be played often.
Nice. I feel like there's going to be a high score with that one. All right, Jeff Mohr, JM for short. What is your first?
That was a switcheroo. Okay. So yeah, I like this a lot too. And again, just funnier and crap. I loved the little girl, Nita-Josee, Hanna as Mimi. I thought it was a great part. It was well written, and she was so perfect at that. I mean, oh Lord. I don't even know what else to say about her, because she just was so off the wall. She prompted a lot of his comments too. He would say something, seriously dastardly, like, "I'm going to destroy the universe," and she's like, "Yeah, okay, yeah," and they're walking out. She just was doing that stuff the whole time, and for me, that kind of helped make it too. I also love I thought of him as sort of a walking trash can of body parts, Chris. And then at the end when and he's spraying that red stuff all over, and he
runs out.
He runs out, and then they as they're doing it, they're kind of looking at it and going, "Yeah, it's not really doing anything." These 5 galactic warriors are really lame, right? Their weapons and things. So yeah, I enjoyed this a lot too. There were surprises at every corner, I thought.
Oh my God, there was.
What happens to Alistair? And actually, the other thing is, the whole family really each have character arcs. The father, the mother, the kid. So anyway, and PG has a character arc as well. So, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Yes. All right, Crystal Cleveland, what is your first impression of Psycho Gorman?
Obviously, I'm with everyone else. I love this movie. I think Mimi might be my spirit animal, because she is so hardcore. She's so mean, and I love her for it. And I love that PG would not ever get the brother's name. He's like, "and boy." He knew the mother and the father's name even, but not. He's like, "You should know it by now." Really, there's so many jokes in this, but as I was watching the movie, I mean, I know y'all keep saying this is low budget, but as I was watching the movie, I was like, cha-ching, cha-ching. There's so many different aliens. There's so many effects. Like when he eats something, and then even from behind, you kind of have that big mouth thing coming up. I was like, that's amazing looking to me. I mean, you can kind of see maybe portions where they went a little bit, they saved some money doing certain things. But I mean, just the look of every one of them is just, I was like, did they all just donate their time and because to me, it all looked really, really good. I mean, but really the girl and the boy made it. I mean, without them doing a good job, if you didn't have a good Mimi,
No. And
You wouldn't. Yeah, her performance is found in PG, and PG's performance is found in her. I mean, they're a perfect little duo there. I loved the way that they interacted and the way that they got along. And I mean, let's be real, the dad is lazy. That's the truth. Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Oh,
I loved it.
Yeah. The little girl pretty much runs the family, right? Everything else is sort of dysfunctional. It's like,
I think she pretty much runs anything she's in.
yes.
No kidding, no kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to give her some cred because she's got to star opposite all these crazy creatures and monsters and hold her own. And not only does she hold her own, I would say she eclipses them. Even, dare I say it, Psycho Gourmet. I mean, I think she is definitely the star of this film. She is spectacular. I loved it. I'm just going to throw it out there. I knew this film was going to be bonkers. I was a little afraid it was going to be too bonkers, drama, and I didn't know if I was going to enjoy it because of that. But this just hit all the right bells and whistles, and you do. And the special effects are strong, but they're not like what a studio would do if they had it, right? So
Fair enough.
It wears that budget on its sleeve, but it wears it with pride, and it kind of lets it owns it, right? It owns that, and it doesn't matter. It all works, and it kind of feels like if we all well, I don't know. I grew up liking Ultraman shows and stuff like that, but if they were made gory and fun, they'd be this movie, right? It'd be just kind of silly man in suit, kind of crazy imagination. What the hell is that thing, creature? But the lore that they build, the backstory, the little animations, everything that we get it's just so well conceived and so well put together with the best sense of humor ever. And I do like Steven's body of work. The Void was one of our favorites. Leprechaun Returns surprised the hell out of us. We really didn't think. We were like, oh, we're going to do Leprechaun Returns. Holy shit. And it was like, wow, this movie is oh my God. And it was like in our top 10. What the hell is a Leprechaun movie? But it had so much imagination, love to it. I'm looking at his IMDb. He's doing the Day of the Dead TV series. Now I'm suddenly interested. I was like, oh, Day of the Dead. But okay, I want to see what he does with Day of the Dead and zombies and stuff. But favorite movie of the year. Okay, we are what, 2 weeks in? The first week was weird. But I've only seen 3 really fun movies and a really great TV show. If you're not watching 30 Coins, go check it out. And it's a great start for 2021 for horror fans. It's I mean, are we going to finally get all the films we were promised last year? I don't know, but let's hope so, right? This movie is a blast, absolute blast.
I mean, it feels like it does feel like a love letter to like 80s sci-fi type stuff, when practical stuff became a little bit more heavy, but it also falls into that kind of stuff where it almost feels like one of the villains from Power Rangers showed up in this universe, is an asshole. And then you have this little girl who's like, even more of an asshole than Veruca Salt, she's almost like I don't know, like the like the little girl from Curly Sue, if you ever saw that movie.
Oh my God! You and your references.
Isn't that Jesse Eisenberg's sister? I think
so. Yeah. Or if Shirley Temple were an asshole, it'd be this. But yeah, actually the little girl kind of turned me off in the very beginning. I was like, man, this girl is such an ass. I hope she gets killed by this monster. But then after a while, you sort of get used to that, to where that's just part of her personality and how she just bullies her whole family. And the dad is like the most horrible dad in the world. But how they play is, where he's offended when they call him lazy, but he's like, he makes the word lazy seem lazy. He's just like really bad, like horrible. And there's like, there's like one moment where he does like a facial response, and it's like a long take on him where you just laugh. at his response because he's like so serious when his wife calls him out on shit, you know.
That's why it's so funny.
But yeah, I mean, it's you know, just and also just like it feels. I'm trying. What am I trying to compare it? But anyway, like how she bullies her brother.
Yeah.
To where like in the very beginnings, like you know, I won, so I get to bury you, and I'm like, oh god, this is really starting out dark. She's gonna kill her brothers. Yeah, it has this morbid sense of humor throughout it all that really works, and I guess it helps when you have somebody who's actually an effects person who's directing it, who's probably helped along with some of that stuff and got all the right people involved to be able to do it on a smaller budget. But yeah, has such high aspirations. It works a whole lot better than some of your $100 million sci-fi opuses, just because of the level of passion that goes into all these characters. You know, it's like the what is it, the female villain.
Was she a Valkyrie?
Pandora.
Valkyrie or whatever.
Pandora.
Pandora. Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like an angel.
Just that, and yeah, just that, and how he fights her towards the end is just really amazing. So yeah, and yeah, and then it goes sort of like that the family sitcom elements to where it's almost like Married with Children on crack, and then it goes to like these crazy, you know, people exploding, people turning into big brain heads, and it's just. But then it's but there's like one moment where the people at the table are watching, and something horrible happens, and the one guy tries to cover the face of the skull guy and his thing. I mean, things like that are just really funny jokes that, you know, it's funny because you don't normally see these characters doing that kind of thing.
Yeah, they're like gags. More like
really wonderful gags in this.
Yeah. I love the imagination with this, and some of my favorite bits are the supporting characters. These auxiliary characters, not ancillary characters, excuse me, that we get, like that group of aliens that are in that part of that council, right? They're just all bizarre. And the police officer that turns into the zombie.
Oh god.
He is the funniest miming guy. Oh my god, when he's trying to shoot himself. I mean, that's okay. That's a weird thing to say. But
yeah.
He's like every once in a while he just goes around and go bang.
Well, you also had the dead guy with the it looked like a slot machine where his eyeballs kept rotating.
He was in constant hell. Right?
That was great.
That
was his masterpiece.
My bastard.
Oh my god. Yeah, but come on, like, oh my god, my favorite, like, it was a happy little accident where his head explodes. Like, he was clearly very weak, made of glass. I like when he knocked him over. I was like, that's when I was like in. That was the moment.
Well, it's funny how like they have we have the flashbacks where the Psycho Gorman's telling a story. It's all this epic, and then it cuts because the little girl comes forward like, oh, this candy sucks. I was like, oh, I want to see more of this flashback. She doesn't even care.
Not at all. Not at all.
No.
You know, okay, so a film like this, when you put Psycho Gorman in a cowboy shirt and a cowboy hat with glasses.
Oh my gosh. Didn't it look extra blue there?
It could go wrong, right? It could really go wrong in the wrong hands, but it is because he also has to stand up against the 5 other characters that show up, right? And he's it's like, you gotta be kidding me.
With the spikes through the back of the shirt.
Yes. I mean, I don't know. The sense of humor in this is incredibly special, and yeah, I'm amazed at how creative and funny and how can this movie be heartwarming? But it is, right? It somehow is. And yeah, I'm just gonna like champion this film for the rest of the year.
Totally.
I've already called it the best of 2021. I don't know what more I can do.
Yeah, I don't know, but we're going to ask you here in a little bit. All right, let's wrap things up. Let's give our final thoughts, our score from 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. But before we do, thank you for listening. If you're still with us, we appreciate greatly. If you hit the subscribe button or hit the like button, it'll help greatly. If you share it, even better. And when you see this film, we want you to leave comments because we want to hear what you think of this film. And for those who have been leaving comments, thank you so much. We love hearing your comments. Some of us have been really raking us over the coals lately, we probably just. I'm just saying, it's okay.
Ooh,
Um,
I need to catch up.
yeah, I'm sorry. We liked I Am Lisa. All right. All right. We also want to thank our patrons, without which we would not be able to do not only this podcast, but H&R, Decades of Horror, and the Heroes and Droids podcast. So thank you all so much. And if you're interested in becoming a patron, you can check the link out down below. All right. Let's do this. Let's find out what our final thoughts of score and favorite scene are. And Christopher G. Mohr, you are up first, sir.
Well, in the same way this film explodes with blood and guts, this film also explodes with a lot of imagination and passion. And it's you can sort of see the level of love that went into the making of this. And I think we all know it's a fine line trying to create that level of horror and comedy in something, because either the comedy doesn't work or the horror doesn't work, and it's always hard to pull that off. And usually that's my favorite, that's my jam when it comes to the horror films, is usually the horror comedy elements. And this finds that finds that G spot, that gore spot,
that PG spot.
The PG. Hey, I need you to write my review. The PG spot for this, and you can tell. I mean, as someone that grew up, going to the video store and renting those cheesy sci-fi horror flicks and stuff from back in the day, this feels like a huge love letter to that, but it also has contemporary type stuff, and also just I was really blown away by the level of creature work and effects work throughout this film, because it's really hard to pull that off on a lower budget when you have all these million different creatures and all the visual effects with creating like space and planets and all that stuff, and so kudos to him for being able to pull it off. But yeah, and the level of humor is just so out there and wacky. But to be able to sort of do all those different things in one film, it just works really well. So I'll have to agree with Dave. I mean, I think this is one of the best of the year so far that I've seen, because it's just, and I can understand some people may not get it if they don't like that wacky type of humor. But this is, like I said at the very beginning, this is the best trauma film that's ever been made.
I think you're right.
Because trauma films try to aspire to be something like this. But this knocks it out of the park into the stratosphere. So, for rating, I mean, I don't know. I have to give it a 5 out of 5. I just enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch this again, because there's like so many quotable things. And again, that thing. Here's a picture of hunky dudes for you. It's like, I'm not into hunky dudes, or am I? And just this big monster of a creature saying that just makes it so much more funny. And just the reactions, the dad who's like a piece of shit, who's just oh, I hurt my hand. I mean, oh God. Yeah. So it's go watch this if you want a good laugh, and see what passion can create on a low budget. As for favorite scene, there's so many to choose from. I'm gonna go with the scene where he says the line. I know that's kind of stupid, but I just that's the one thing I keep thinking about, and I chuckle. In the middle of my day, I'll think about that line and I'll chuckle, because it's just like that. I think that encompasses this film as a whole, to have these crazy elements that you would normally see on a very much more dramatic or crazy level, and then there's this thing of humor gets thrown into it that just makes it that much more crazy. So I'll just have to say that when he delivers that line is probably my favorite scene, even though there's a million great scenes that you could pick from this film and would be 100% right.
Yep. Yeah, and he gets so upset when it gets destroyed later. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They bring that back, and I laughed again. So,
All right, Dave Dreher, what are your final thoughts? Your score, favorite scene, sir?
Well, I think we know that I totally love this film. Doc, you said you're going to champion the film. I'm also going to champion Stephen Kostanski's career, because I really think we're watching someone who we're going to be talking about for many, many, many years to come. Christopher keeps comparing it to a trauma film, and in a lot of ways it does remind me of that. But trauma gave us James Gunn. And I think this guy is on that same caliber. I love his humor. I like everything about this movie. I love the special effects. It's obviously a 5 out of 5 for me, because I've already said it's the best film of the year, so I can't give it anything.
Gotta give it a 5.
Right? And my favorite scene, again, there are so many of them, but I absolutely love the naming scene when they're coming up with his name. He says, "Well, some people call me the harvester of nightmares." And they're coming up with all these dumbass names, these stupid things that they finally land on Psycho Gorman. But that whole scene plays well all the way up to the point to where she tells him to basically go sit down and shut up. and he reluctantly goes over there. The whole scene just works brilliantly between the two young leads and Psycho Gorman. It was just brilliant. It was funny, kind of touching a little bit, if you will, and it just worked on every level something can work. So this is a great movie. If this isn't one of those ones that we're seeing people walking around conventions with Psycho Gorman t-shirts, there's something wrong in this world.
We just need to get back to all right, Jeff Mohr, what is your final thoughts? Your score and favorite scene, sir?
Yeah. This is really innovative. It was just one thing after another. It just kept surprising me. I'm going to go 5 on this as well. And favorite scene. I guess I'm going to go with the cop, whatever that was.
Oh man,
not really a zombie, but that guy was unbelievable. His body motions and stuff, the way he walked around, and the gun was just firing off. He tries to shoot himself, and when she's trying to explain the rules of crazy ball to him, you understand, right? Yeah, he gets it. So I'll go with that.
Stupid scene. All right, Cleveland, you're up next. What is your favorite? What is your final thoughts? Your score and favorite scene?
So obviously I fifth this saying you should definitely watch this movie. It's really, really good. It's really, really funny. I think you're all going to love it, and you're going to love Mimi for life. Totally. I love that. Love that girl. She's so good. Anyway, oh God, I'm giving it a 4.75 because I don't think I'm ever going to give anything a 5. Ever. Sorry. But it's 4.75, so it's about as good as it gets for me.
So in essence, you're giving it a 5.
In essence, yeah, kind of, basically,
I never want you for a boss.
I know, I am. I'm so hardcore. I'm like, no, you can do better. I mean, there's like no issues with this though. No cinematography issues, no sound issue. The sound was phenomenal, actually, and like it. There's so many good things to say. I mean, there's just, it's like a visual, funsy, alien, gory nightmare. And I don't know, I'm hemming and hawing because I'm trying to think of my favorite scene. I guess it's got to be the first warrior's death. And I love that you fought bravely. I must give you a warrior's death. No, anything but that. So funny. He thinks he's doing them in honor. I love it. It's silly. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh man, you guys were calling it like trauma and some other things. In my head, I was thinking, this because I'm a little older, like Roger Corman turned up to 11, but with a sense of humor.
That's accurate. Yeah, that's accurate.
Because it has that, I don't know, it has that bizarre, that whatever that special thing is. But I think whoever said James Gunn, I think he really nailed it. I think that's a pretty good comparison. Got like a junior James Gunn coming on board. This is really imaginative, and it's just out there and hilarious and gory. I mean, horror. You're not going to get the scares, and you're really not going to be offended by the gore because it's played for laughs. But if you like RoboCop when the guy gets hit and splatters all over the place, you're gonna love this movie, right? You're gonna love it when something gory happens and you get a chuckle out of it, because that's what this film is. It's got the juxtaposition between this big giant monster guy and this little 10-year-old girl, however old she is, and how alike and different they are all at the same time is at the core what this film is, and it just really works with that. And how they change each other, it's like, how did this become like a John Hughes wannabe film kind of thing, about kids and whatnot?
It's E.T. with a psycho.
I know it's crazy, but for me, it's what really impressed me was the imagination with the story building and all these different characters. Like, it's just some unbelievable stuff, and fast paced, zippity zap. Everybody is important to the story in some fashion, so you don't always get that with jokey movies, right? The people are throwaway. I don't feel like anybody was really throwaway here. There
maybe the cop.
No, especially not the cop. Oh, especially not the cop.
The little boy on the street, maybe.
Poor Alistair.
Alistair was. I love Alistair when he leaves. When the Goreman says he's going to like tear his soul out and eat it for lunch or something. So, okay, I'll see you. Bye.
Is that the same little kid too? He says, "Have a good day." He goes, "It'd be better if you were dead." I love that.
And that's exactly the sense of humor this movie has. 5. I can't not give this a 5. I give 5s away too easily, and
No. That's fair.
I've given 2 away this year already, and it's only 2.
You do you. I do that a lot too. I probably get called out for that as well, but I don't care. Sometimes it's more about how you react to it and your passion to it. And if you round up crystals to 5, you round it up. I think it's a 5. So.
Hers is a 5 because she won't ever give a 5. So. But anyway, my favorite scene. What is my favorite scene? It's the cop, but I can't do that one. There's so many. I'm going to go with the table full of aliens, the committee that the angel lady is talking to. The variety of different creatures, and they're all kind of silly and funny. And my favorite, so the guy that actually has all the dialogue is really funny. Thankfully, I like that. But I also like the guy next to him, which was the skull inside of the glass.
Yeah, that's my favorite alien in that.
Weird jaw.
And the weird jaw. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it's there's no emotion on the face, but yet they got all these expressions. What great puppetry is that? It's amazing. I love it. So it's just that and all the imagination that goes along with everything else. So I just want to say congratulations to Steven and the crew. They did a great job getting this film made, and I see big things for it. And we need a PG-2.
And without giving anything away, how he makes his weapon at the end is amazing. If I had to pick a specific scene, that would probably be my favorite scene. Is just how he makes his weapon. But yeah, it's this has made me like, oh crap, I want to make something like this. So now in my mind is like gears are turning. Like, how can I make something like this?
You can
and
make
with
something like
with
this.
$5.
The $5.
You can make something like this. We have aluminum foil.
I think he had more than aluminum foil on that set.
All right. Well, there you go. That's our review of Psycho Gorman. It's coming out later in January. I've lost the date, but look for it.
January 22nd, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, 22nd.
Catch it, watch it, and let us know what you think. I really want to watch this again as well. So
yeah, me too.
All right, Christopher, I'm so glad you joined us for this. Thank you for joining the group here.
Thanks for letting me join in. I appreciate
it, buddy.
Yeah, we love having you.
All right, Crystal. Jeff, JM for short. And Dave, thank you for joining me.
Thanks. For
Of course, Doc. Of course.
with that, let's say a warm good night.
Good night.
A warm good night.
Good night.
That sounds like
ripped
gross,
your
like
snore
warm
out of
milk.
your anus.
What?
Maybe I am into warm good nights.
See here, Jack. Oh my God, there's too much.
That was a warm good night.
Quick, everybody make the brain in a face, the brain in a jar face. There you go.